Hello everyone, my name is Joshua. This is the 130th video on my video journal series. Today's date is Thursday, the 18th of June, 2026. How's everyone been? I've been pretty good, thank you. And something I want to talk about with you today are moths. I don't like moths. More specifically, moths eating my clothes. Now today, I had a shirt that had a hole in it, I noticed, and I was like, well, obviously, it wasn't the washing machine that did that because I've had this shirt for a long time and I've, never noticed small holes in it up until now. So it had to be moths. And I noticed that I had a merino jumper hanging up on a clothes rack that was also eaten by moths. It had like some small holes in it because usually I put it in like one of my drawers, one of my like clothes drawers. But I forgot to put in my drawer, and yeah, it got eaten up. And I've had a few clothing items eaten up by moths, like a suit and all that. It wasn't a particularly expensive one. It was like 20 or 30 bucks from like Vinnie's, but yeah, it did hurt me because it was an old one and I liked it. But I just hate moths eating my clothes, right? I don't know where these moths are. Like they're in my cupboard somewhere, or they're just in my room. But it's just like whenever you leave like an expensive piece of clothing or something that's like sentimental to you, just get small holes in it. So that's why I've gone the full 9 yards. I've basically bought these like laundry bags that you put over like coat hangers. I think they're called like laundry bags or something like that. The ones that use like the dry cleaners to put on coat hangers to like protect clothes and all that. I've done that in my cupboard with all my precious stuff. I remember my mom saying, why are you doing this? And I'm like, because I don't want moths eating up my clothes. All right. And now I just put my clothes in the drawers and, within an enclosed space, because I just hate moths eating up everything. I've noticed on like, one of my jumpers, my green jumper, not this one, it's another green jumper I have. There's also a small moth bite in it. And I'm just like sick of it. I'm sick of it because I like to wear, clothes without any holes. I can understand if something's old, but if I just bought it not so long ago, it's already got holes because of moths. It just makes me infuriated. It always seems to happen with like stuff that is wool based, which is what I guess attracts moths. But you know, I think I'm not the only one who's had this sort of I guess rant about moths. How much I don't like animals eating my clothes. Um, but what can you do really? I can only just prevent it, sort of thing. And I know you're not supposed to wear, I guess, clothes for too long, depending what it is. Underwear and socks you should mostly change like every year. I think I've had like some pairs of. I think I've had like some socks that I've had for like maybe like 2 years now. These socks that I'm wearing, I think these ones are like 2 years old, which I should most probably like change them out, but they're good quality. Underwear, yeah, you should most probably change. T-shirts and jeans, they can last like 20 years. They can last you a long, long time. These ones are most probably older than me. These jeans, but they're good quality. I just use them for like around the house and like short walks and all that. But you know, they just do the job, even though they are like a little beaten up. Who cares? Shoes. Yeah, I think shoes you should most probably change up like once in every 6 months, sort of thing. It depends how much you use them, really. I walk everywhere, so I need to change them like once every 6 months, practically. Um, so maybe buy like 2 or 3 pairs a year. But yet again, these aren't like I guess expensive shoes I'm talking about. They're like $80 Asics ones. If I buy maybe $150 shoes, not that I will, but like um, maybe they'll get me a little bit further. But yeah, I just find sometimes the basic shoe models they just do the exact same job. Maybe more cushioning on the more expensive ones, but I'm content with my $80. And yeah, what else? Oh yeah, Supernova's in 2 days' time. Obviously I have to get through Friday, but then Saturday morning I gotta wake up early, go to Olympic Park because doors open at 10 o'clock in the morning. So naturally, yeah, I gotta wake up extremely early to get to Olympic Park on time. And I'm going with a bunch of friends as well, so we've been coordinating stuff. And it is hard to sort of coordinate when you've got like a a few people going. It was originally going to be me and another friend, but now we've invited a few others. I think we got one, um, two, three, possibly 3 or 4 extra people coming along. Um, so yeah, I do have like things planned throughout Supernova, and I gotta remind myself to print out the map for Supernova tomorrow. Same with my tickets and all that, because I'm like an old person, right? I like to print out tickets because I don't trust my phone. Sometimes I forget to charge my phone. It's like on like 10% or whatever. Um, Sometimes I do it deliberately, so then I'm like not too distracted on my phone. There's some days where my phone's only on like 30 or 20%, so it kind of like disincentivizes me to like doom scroll. But you should never do that. You should always have your phone on full charge just in case it's an emergency. But some days I'm just like lazy when I'm in bed. I'm like, oh, I'm not bothered to walk up, plug in my phone, and then, stop watching YouTube until you fall asleep. And that's happened to me. I've, watched YouTube, and then I wake up in the morning. I'm like, yeah, I did not watch these videos. Oh, because I was asleep when YouTube was like, automatically playing the next video. So I wake up and I'm like, oh yeah, Pink Panther clips. I don't watch Pink Panther, but it was next in a recommendation. Not that that's ever happened to me. I just used it as an analogy. Pink Panther. I don't know why I used it as an analogy because, yeah, I haven't really watched the old Pink Panther cartoons, but I do watch a bunch of other old shorts and cartoons on YouTube. So it wouldn't surprise me if, one day I was just watching, I don't know, Three Stooges, and then suddenly I fall asleep, and then YouTube autoplays Pink Panther episode, for instance. You know, and eventually you just go further and further down the rabbit hole, so it might just lead me back to like another random video which has no association with a Pink Panther or a Stooge, if you know what I mean. But anyway, yes, so Supernova is happening, which I'm very excited for. And yeah, what else do I have this week? Oh, nothing else. Thankfully, nothing's popped up today. Because yeah, there's some days like where I just want to stay home because I'm like so tired, and this week I've been like really out a lot. So yeah, some days I just don't like doing anything, not even playing games, just like staying in bed, watching YouTube, or just getting some exercise. Today was like a cool off day, and yeah, obviously, what else? Yeah, Friday. I have really nothing to do on Friday. Friday will just be me prepping for Supernova, I guess, because I have to wake up very early in the morning, and then I'll most likely be at Olympic Park up until very late. And I was thinking of actually maybe doing a blog for Supernova as well, because obviously this video journal series, right, is me mostly sitting on this red couch over here, but I have done some, I guess, IRL content, me, my abroad, not really abroad, but, me out and about in public and all that. So I was thinking of doing that with Supernova. I'll definitely film some things and all that on my phone. I'll just see what my mood is on the day, because you don't want me like half asleep, but I need to get an early night's sleep tomorrow night. And yeah, obviously I do still have some time off. I was thinking of planning, something to do, like a holiday or something like that. Just like a short one, maybe to like Canberra or to Bathurst. I wouldn't mind doing a day trip to Bathurst again. Last time I went to Bathurst was around a year ago, actually. But no, Bathurst was nice, I remember. Went to a couple of museums there, but yeah, I'll just see where, I guess, my intent goes, if I'm still content on, going to Bathurst on a day trip. What else? What else? Yeah, I can't believe we're already like over halfway through this year. Come to think about it, man, it only seems like yesterday was like January. Yeah, January. Man, I didn't begin this series until February. You know what? It honestly seems that January was a lot more closer to me in memory than when I started this video journal series in February. Is that strange? Like, I remember in January I went to Canberra, and I went with a mate, and I remember that vividly, even though it was like a few days. I remember that vividly, and then I started this video journal series in February, and to me, February seems like a long, long time ago. Is it weird? I can't believe it's only been 3 months. This video journal series has felt like a lot longer. I wouldn't necessarily say like 6 or 9 months or anything like that, but it's felt like I progressed a lot, maybe. Maybe January feels closer to me because that was before I began this series. And then when I began this series, obviously I've changed a lot. My videos look drastically, I guess, different in pacing and style and all that. So I guess you've really seen like a very clear progression. I guess that's how time works. Time is really an illusion. 2023, I cannot believe it was like 3 years ago, let alone 2024 as well, 2 years ago. COVID, that was 6 years ago. Oh my gosh, time really is an illusion. But I feel like, our, yet again, perceptions of time can really be, I guess, skewed by, stuff like, I don't know, keeping a journal or, recording a video journal series like this, because you can clearly see yourself progressing and saying, wow, how far I've come in only 3 months, So yeah, 130, well, this is the 130th video, so 130 days in. Man, we're not even 1/10th, we're not even 1/50th, we're in, I think, 1/100th? If I get my calculations right, I think we're like 1/100th of the way through. So imagine, 100 blocks, right? I take one block out. That one block is 1/100th of the way through this series. I'm pretty sure. So yeah. Obviously, I still got a very long way to go, and I don't want to keep on talking about the ending, but that's something that's been on my mind. Like, where's the future going to take us in 20 years' time, in the year 2046? But I don't want to talk about too much about the future. I want to talk about the present. And, the present is, currently ridden by moths and discarded clothes, But yeah, I guess, like, obviously it is, if we're relating it back to, I guess, clothing and damaged clothes and moths eating clothes. I'm in the process of, I guess, renovating. I'm not renovating, but like, I guess, getting new clothes and reinventing my wardrobe. Let's say, because I up until now I really haven't bought much clothes. I've just used the same old ones, but now I think it's time for me to buy some new stuff and stop looking like the same thing all the time. I love this green jumper. I got this jumper from a grocery store, and this jumper I got around 2 years ago. I bought this on my trip to Japan and New Zealand. It's been around me all around the places which I visited, and I love this green jumper. This jumper was like $20 or something, but it's lasted me for over 2 years, so it's really good value. And this thing will most probably last me like 20 years at this current rate, maybe another 18 years, and I wear this thing practically daily, so I'm surprised it hasn't like degraded at all. Meanwhile, I've had like some items of clothing, like jumpers and shirts, which have lasted me like way, way less. So yeah, and is there anything else I want to say? Not really. Today was, I guess, a rest day, and then tomorrow will be me just planning Supernova. Yet again, I have a lot of fun things for that. I'll report back on Saturday if I'm not completely, flustered or I'm not completely, tired. Obviously, I've got to record a video on Saturday, but, I'm just saying my IRL vlog, if I'm going to do an IRL vlog on Saturday, which I'm aiming to do. But anyway, I guess that's enough of me talking, and I guess I'll catch you all next time. Bye, see ya, take care, catch you all tomorrow.